Eye on Sun Valley, daily local news from beautiful Sun Valley, Idaho.
Ethan Reese, are you ready? Hazel, you ready to do 2 laps? Drop it and give it up for Hazel, first competitor. We'll make a no-footer off the mini stretch. Great place to learn. Cranking right along. All right, big smile. Going up the jab, turn around. 2 laps, dropping right in. Amazing determination, keeping those feet high on the strider. Don't even need pedals here at the Ketchum Pump Track. Bring it all the way around. 1 foot, 1 kick. Dad giving them a little bit of coach. Spinning them around. Keep going, honey. Second lap, there it is. The 180 reverse. Bring it all the way around. Keep kicking. Give it up for Henry Black as he comes into the finish. Kicking on that strider. Nice job. Woo!
Karen Bosick with Eye on Sun Valley. We're here at the Ketchum Bike Park where you can have fun without pedaling. They're having the 10th annual State Track Championships tonight. Let's go take a look.
Does. She's cruising. Now I like it. She's taking that high line. Around the good back turn. Give it up for Grace. She comes all the way to the finish. Cranking right through. Taking down those ruined turns. Bringing it all the way in. Give it up for Harvey. Goes up over that step up dirty. Bringing it all the way around. Taking it up, getting off that saddle. Pedaling all the way through. Looking through a second lap. First lap done. Over the transfer line. What's the difference between the low and the highlight? You're going to see a lot of different variations. All the way around. Cranking through that back. A little bit of a depth. Keep it going, Milo. He's popping right back up. Give him a hand. He's going to keep going. That's what we like to see. Not stopping, not quitting. Working on the skills down here at the pump track. Over the last few rolling right to the finish. Now, 900 more. Idaho Pump Track State Championship. Standing up on that track. That back turn. Giving out, taking a quick work of his first lap. They can do that. Keep it rubber side down. Moving right around onto the high line. We're going to thank the crew guys who came out this week. Help them bump our track out. Taking it nice and fast. Help the cow hit. Ranking right through the finish.
Magnus, what do you have to show us?
Please get yourself some t-shirts.
Medal.
A medal? What place did you win?
First place.
Wow, Magnus, that's a pretty cool start for a 4-year-old. What did you have to do to get that first place medal?
Go really fast.
Oh, and what were you going fast on?
Once again, we got a
Pump track.
Okay. I'm here with Brendan Core and Julian Tayo, and they started the Idaho State Pump Track Championship 10 years ago. Tell me about what prompted you to do that, Brendan?
Well, we built the track the year before, and we kind of saw the need to start some racing just for fun. And it kind of took off the first year. We did it once a week for 4 weeks, and it kind of took off and exploded. We developed our own format on the track for how we raced and how we timed it, and it just went from there.
Now, Julian, can you explain what a pump track is all about and how you do it?
Absolutely, Karen. So pump tracks first became popularized in the last 10 or 15 years. A lot of the Australian downhillers on the World Cup circuit were getting lightning fast and nobody could figure it out. And then they saw that they were all building these courses where you practiced generating speed without pedaling your bike. So in all those moments when you can't really pedal on a downhill track, you can actually pump and still maintain speed. So as the World Cup circuit started paying attention, seeing why these guys were so fast, they realized, oh, it's because of these pump tracks. And really they started to blossom throughout the entire world. So we were one of the first public pump tracks here in Ketchum, Idaho, built alongside the BCRD's pump track in cooperation with Alpine Bike Parks. And happy to say it's still here. It's volunteers who maintain this and take care of it, and really trying to create a culture where the kids are here to take care of it and take care of this incredible free public amenity that we have.
And Brendan, what does it feel like when you're riding around the pump track?
It's exhilarating. You feel a lot of the kind of centrifugal force when you come around a turn, and you can catch air if you want, or you can keep the tires down and just go fast and work on your skills. It's really good. It's a great workout.
Okay. Anything else that would be fun to know, Julian?
You know, I just encourage everybody to come out, no matter what age, no matter what your skill level is. There's something that you can gain from riding the pump track. Lord knows I should probably do it more myself, but it's great fitness and builds up those bike-specific muscles that will help you out there on the trail. You know, once you get out on the trail after riding a lot of pump track, you look at things totally differently. You're always looking at places where you can pump and generate speed.
I'm Derek Agnew, General Manager of Zenergy Health Club and Spa, and I want to take you inside and show you what we've done with our new Pivot Studio, which is going to blow you away. The therapists tell me that Pivot really is the game changer. It fills that final gap that we were missing at Zenergy, things they could not do in our main gym.
The recent addition of the Pivot Studio has meant wonders to me as a physical therapist. I can now take care of the most vulnerable post-operative patient, but now I can include programming that challenges the most elite athlete.
A lifetime of memories begins right here. With sweeping views of the majestic Sawtooth Mountains and the warmth and charm of a historic ski town, Sun Valley Resort is an idyllic destination to kick off your happily ever after. Our four-season setting offers spectacular indoor and outdoor mountain wedding venues for gatherings of all sizes. As a full-service resort, all our facilities fall under one umbrella, simplifying the planning of everything from horseback rides to cocktail hour.
Are you tired of being tired? Wouldn't you like to have more energy and not be so run down? Hi, I'm Dr. John Calvert with Sun Valley Smile Designs and Dental Sleep Health. That's right, a dentist who treats sleep breathing disorders and sleep apnea. You may be one of the millions of people that suffer from sleep apnea, depriving you of the quality of sleep that you need. You may not be aware of the serious physical problems with untreated sleep apnea. High blood pressure, diabetes, and stroke are just a few. For those of you that have sleep apnea but are just not able to tolerate your CPAP unit, there is help right here in Ketchum. I have over 17 years of advanced training in sleep health, and I can treat your sleep apnea, including annoying snoring, from beginning diagnosis all the way through treatment. No need to travel hours away for overnight sleep studies. I'll provide you with a complimentary, complete computer airway evaluation and consultation. Give my office a call and I can help you feel more rested and have more energy. Sleep well, live well. Come see us at Sun Valley Smile Designs and Sun Valley Sleep Health.
Audio Innovations is an innovative audio-visual company that designs, integrates, and simplifies a truly custom system to keep you comfortable, entertained, and secure in your own home. Audio Innovations TJ's Electric offers a variety of services, from phone systems to lighting control systems, HVAC systems, home theater, electrical, audio, and video, drapery systems, and more. Audio Innovations, 91 East Croy Street, Alturas Plaza, in Hailey.
Better food, better price, better service. Atkinson's Market, supporting local farmers since 1956.
Gabriel is my son, and he has lymphedema in both of his legs. Gabriel couldn't ski because his feet are so swollen that he couldn't fit into the boots, and Higher Ground got him into skis and got him skiing on the mountain and stuff.
I have no vision in my left eye and very little in my right, so I came to Higher Ground because of that. I ski and I love it.
I'm Michael David with Eye on Sun Valley Sports, and it's my pleasure to be joined by Paige Roberts, a neuro-performance specialist from the Seattle area who's worked with players on the Seattle Seahawks and members of the U.S. snow sports teams. Paige, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
So brain health, brain trauma, it's been going on for a long time, but it's a relatively new field. What spurred you into this field?
Oh boy. I had a past friend who had completed suicide when I was in college, and then another friend completed suicide when I was 29. So 10 years later, and my background, my undergrad was in exercise science, and then I just completed a master's degree in social work. And I started to try to understand why athletes were completing suicide.
Right.
And it really led me to Dr. Jeffrey Kucher, he's an MD neuropsychologist who works with the NBA and the US ski team, and he very specifically was trying to figure out if there was a correlation between suicide and concussions. And he really found that, and this was about 5 years ago even, that he really started digging into things. He and Dr. Mickey Collins, whom he was in the movie Concussion, I don't know,
right.
He's with the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and they kind of made it their mission to really understand this and figure it out. And they started to see that it's not necessarily just TBIs, it's any kind of injury, and we can kind of see a decrease in neurovoltage and a depression in the nervous system anytime an athlete goes through any kind of injury. So,
and TBI is for the
traumatic
novice.
brain injury.
Right, correct.
Yeah. So.
And we associate it oftentimes right now because it's been in the news, the movie Concussion that you talked about with NFL players, but this is across the sports spectrum, isn't it, in terms
Absolutely.
of any type of athletic event that has the possibility of
yeah, crashing, falling,
Exactly.
impact, any of it.
Right. And it doesn't have to be two players.
No,
right.
no, and just falling on the ground. The velocity is enough to cause a primary and secondary concussion. Primary is just hitting the ground, secondary is the brain bouncing around the skull. So again, in the last 5 years, we've really looked into what's going on, the return to play guidelines. None of that was going on when I worked in the athletic training room back in college, and I ran cross country in college as well.
Right.
And I mean, we were just like having them follow our finger to see if their eyes were tracking. So nowadays we've got these sophisticated types of measurement tools, and this one very specifically is the WAVI QEEG,
right.
developed out of Boulder, Colorado, and it can give a baseline measure of your voltage in your brain and where you actually have activity in your brain. So
right.
voltage, there should be as much as there is to power a light bulb in the brain every single day.
Okay.
And so if someone's hit their head, the voltage will decrease and the activity will decrease.
And so we were talking off camera back in the day. You got knocked out. You saw stars, and a couple plays later, maybe you went back in the game. The same type of trauma was happening back then, but it was going untreated, correct?
Yeah, and well, now we know differently. And the thing is the brain will heal given the desirable conditions and the desirable intervention. So really, that's what we've figured out at this point in time. I mean, the typical individual will heal after 2 weeks. If they have any more post-concussion syndrome symptoms after 2 weeks, then there might be another issue going on, and that's what Dr. Mickey Collins has found at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. So it will heal. We just need to be identifying that these concussions are happening, pulling the kid out or adult, and applying particular interventions.
Right. So there's one end of the spectrum as concussions have come more in the news that says, well, don't even have your kid play football or play any contact sport. This seems to be a positive thing happening that maybe is going to allow these type of things to continue, where you can address it properly and quickly.
Yes, and Stanley Herring, he works with the Seahawks and works with Visus. It's this new helmet that they're making, and is with the University of Washington. And he just did a talk at this conference that I was at about a month ago, and was saying, hey, it's far more damaging for children to not be out playing sports, to not be exercising, than the risk of getting a traumatic brain injury that's going to cause them problems later on. And again, that once we identify, the kid sits out after a week to 2 weeks, they're healed.
Right.
It's just pulling them out, and they didn't used to pull them out, so that's why we're seeing a lot of individuals with issues that, now that are in their 30s and 40s and so on. Right. But yeah, moving forward, no, we shouldn't stop exercising. It's the number one thing that's healthful for us.
Right, and so that kid, again, there's someone on the sidelines nowadays that is able to address it immediately, and so not to pull them out and live in fear of that, but to go out there and do those things that are good for in so many other respects, right?
Oh, absolutely. With interpersonal relationships, I mean, we have big issue with kids not really hanging out with each other or talking to each other anymore. It's like, oh no.
Great.
Yeah,
well,
life skills.
After a short break, let's get back and we'll talk about some of this technology that's being used and all the positive things that are coming from it. And it's so exciting to learn more about this.
Oh, thanks.
We'll be back right after this message.
Are you like me and can't stand paying your insurance bill? Just when you pay all your bills for the month, then along comes that dreaded insurance bill, putting the hurt on your checking account. Hello, I'm Mark Balkos, president of Wood River Insurance. That's why Wood River Insurance is an independent insurance agency. This means we have a multiple of insurance companies we offer to our clients. This allows us to hold the insurance companies accountable for coverage, service, and most important of all, pricing. When I started in this business 33 years ago, I only represented one company to my customers. And after a while, I felt as though my hands were tied when trying to be as competitive as I could. As an independent insurance agency, we represent you to the insurance company, not the insurance company to you. This allows Wood River Insurance to be as competitive as possible. So call us today at 208-788-1100 and let Wood River Insurance represent you.
I remember going to the doctor when I was a kid. He knew me, I knew him. It was really simple. And then medicine changed with more expensive labs, medications, bigger clinics, and not enough time to explain it all.
Direct primary care came along, outside the insurance system and affordable. I'm Dr. Tom Archie. At InnerHealth MD, we spend the time we need building collaborative relationships. We bypass the insurance, lab, and pharmaceutical industries and pass on the savings to our patients. At our office, common labs can cost $5 to $10, and in our pharmacy, generic prescriptions often cost less than $5. Our family practice treats fractures, lacerations, and sports injuries, teaches prevention, and coordinates acute and chronic care. We don't accept insurance. Our patients pay a monthly fee that is less than a cable bill. With acupuncture, herbs, Class 4 cold laser, and a holistic, functional medicine approach, InnerHealth MD is family medicine like it used to be. Affordable, personal, and looking to the future.
The mountain biking in Sun Valley is some of the best and most scenic in the country. Bald Mountain offers 3,100 vertical feet of everything from challenging uphill climbs to machine-built berms and features for the intermediate to advanced rider, all accessible via our summer lift and gondola service. For a milder, family-friendly experience, head to the White Clouds trails across from the Sun Valley Village, winding up and around the White Clouds Golf Course. Beginners will also feel comfortable on the paved Wood River Trail, a 30-plus mile multi-use path that connects the communities of Ketchum, Haley, and Sun Valley. Those in search of adventure can also explore the 400-mile network of single-track trails throughout the Wood River Valley, with some of the best views that our area has to offer. Be sure to stop by Pete Lane's Outdoor Adventure Center before you trek.
Life is crazy busy. You have 1,000 balls in the air and endless things to do. You long for me time, a place to reconnect, to have fun, to explore and mindfully move your gorgeous bod. Wonderful Bodies has got your back. Our Sedona Balance and Revive Women's Retreat is the jumpstart you need to refocus your energy on your self-care. Surround yourself with the Red Rocks, recharge in beautiful lodging, and move your booty with yoga, Pilates, guided hiking, and swim in our saltwater pool. Grab a friend and join us in caring for you this October 22nd through 27th. Sedona. Space is very limited. Invest in you. WonderfulBodies.com.
Davis Embroidery, screen printing and promotional products keeps your logo fresh and your message strong. As the Wood River Valley's one-stop shop for brand support, Davis Embroidery will help you make a lasting impression on your business and your customers. Add your logo to employee uniforms, polos, caps, jackets, t-shirts, water bottles, tote bags, or pins. Davis Embroidery will help you find the right product that fits your company's image and budget. Getting your logo viewed by customers, impressions matter and create top-of-mind recognition. With excellent customer service and quality brands, partnering with Davis Embroidery screen printing and promotional products is a winning marketing strategy. Visit our Ketchum showroom Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or online at davisembroidery.com.
Better food, better price, better service. Atkinson's Market, supporting local farmers since 1956.
We're back with Paige Roberts, neuroperformance specialist. Paige, a lot of us are familiar with the tragic story about Junior Seau, the professional football player who was a star at all levels, and then after suffering several traumas, he completed suicide. Is some of this technology and things that you're going to tell us about, had they maybe been around at the time, something that maybe could have avoided that tragedy?
Oh, absolutely. And so that kind of gets into the field of sports psychology, performance expansion specialists, and mental conditioning coaches, and so on. Yeah, it is a very necessary field, because we know that athletes will heal 80% quicker after a head injury if they see a sports psych one time.
Wow.
And then when we start to get into what types of therapy and different types of injuries, whether it be a perceived failure or watching a teammate injure themselves.
So
or
even secondary trauma.
Secondary trauma.
Okay.
Yes. So we know that our mirror neurons and the motor neuron signals in our brain actually fire when we're watching someone else get injured, and it's something that could happen to us. Obviously, we're playing the same sport.
Right.
So we actually know that we're conditioning in the maladaptation that way. So when we talk about releasing trauma, so we've been talking about trauma for a little bit now. There's this type of therapy called brain spotting, and it's only been around about 15 years.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, that's what these little toys are for here. So these are pointers.
They're not pens.
No, these are pointers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You track an individual's eyes with them. So what we know is the eyes are directly connected to the brainstem. So they're actually reflexive cues. When you're having an athlete sit here, they're listening to bilateral sound, which that's the hypnotherapy aspect of brain spotting.
Okay, right.
So it's waves going back and forth, and it's activating the middle brain where we hold on to these traumatic experiences, whether it be physiological or psychological, emotional, and then the primitive brain, the muscle guarding, oh no, we're going into battle. So the eyes tap into that. We're getting them into that area of their brain, and then I'm having them tell me about the injury. So if it's a snowboarder, I'm having them explain to me the crash.
And is this is immediately following, or it can
Immediately
also be
following.
Okay, right.
They create a homeostasis, anyone creates a homeostasis around mental or physical trauma right after it happens. That's
Right.
Dr. Robert Scar. He's an MD neurologist who supports all this work and ran a traumatic brain injury clinic in Boulder, Colorado for 30 years or something of that nature.
Okay.
Multiple books within and around how the body stores trauma. Nonetheless, so you have the athlete follow the pointer, and they're telling me like, oh yeah, when my edge caught and I slammed my face into the ground, and the body will react. And so we know that we're in that neural pathway, that memory network. And then they talk about it, and you say, okay, where do you feel that in your body? Oh, my gut, because man, it was horrible. It's like I was surprised I woke up. You know, it's like it was so bad. There was blood all around me, and they're just telling you the experience. The body's actually deconditioning that out of their nervous system. So they're reprocessing it. Same thing with head injuries, and even if it's just, you know, the perceived failure. You know, an athlete goes out there and goes, man, you know, I didn't even score at this World Cup. I couldn't believe it. And so same thing, you're finding the position. Where do you feel this sadness? This is your career. This is your life. Feel it right here in my chest, and you see the cue. You're seeing the cue. It's reflexes. It has nothing to do with the thing they're seeing.
So when we see that quarterback nowadays, and he gets hit hard and goes off on the sidelines, and they put him in the tent immediately, and this is the kind of stuff that's going on. Tell us a little bit about this contraption too.
Oh boy. Okay, so I like the combined process of the brain spotting, the psychotherapeutic technique, and then this is photobiomodulation light therapy. This is out of Harvard. So this is Dr. Michael Homblin. This was brought to Harvard in 1993, light therapy was.
Okay.
And he found that you can stimulate with different wavelengths of light, this is red light and near infrared light, the mitochondria to actually get the tissue to heal 50% quicker. And
that's the tissue inside.
That's the cells.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that is any cell with a blood supply, any cell with mitochondria.
Okay.
So you're stimulating mitochondria to increase in number and size. So it's basically like human growth hormone, but it's just light on your skin. Your skin's just taking it in and naturally stimulating the mitochondria. You release nitric oxide, which is an antioxidant, so it combats oxidative stress or tissue damage, which is amazing. So yeah, so Russell Wilson needs to have this on his head in that tent, needs to quickly reprocess the memory. It's out of his nervous system. He's no longer hesitating when he's getting ready to throw the ball, unconsciously too, so out of his peripheral, he sees or thinks someone's coming at him, and it picks up on that reflexive cue, he'll hesitate. It's like, no, we can decondition that out of the nervous system so that he's just free movement.
Right. And what do we have here?
Oh, that's another laser. So this is just a more concentrated laser.
Yep.
And so Homblin's original research was just truly putting it on the brainstem and in the ears and up the nose. And so you're holding it in these positions for 5 minutes. And what he's found at this point in time is within 4 to 5 hours, or well, 4 to 6, I guess, 4, 5, 6 hours, you put the light therapy on the head, and it will completely prevent any post-concussion syndrome.
Wow,
I mean, that's amazing. That's
Sure.
research that came out about a year ago.
And is this the kind of thing now that we're, you know, again, we spoke about, hey, don't let your kid play high school football because of this. Is this the kind of thing that we as parents can say, we feel comfortable that it's going to be available to our kids? It's not like it's so crazy expensive that you can't have that.
It's not, and I typically see with an athlete, if they've a performance decline, you know, you've got like this athlete who is a Olympian in the past, crashed at the last Olympics, performance declined for 4 years. It took about 12 sessions to get that athlete back onto the podium. But I mean, that's pretty extreme, you know, a couple sessions, that's all a kid needs during a season. But baselining their brain health to begin with before the season starts. And then if we're concerned, if they're acting funny, if someone saw them get hit, you know, your concussion spotters or another parent going, man, I think he went down. It's advocating, going, hey, we need to get them a brain scan or maybe pull them out for a week and see what goes on here. And then applying these interventions. The sports psych aspect, trauma reprocessing therapy is what the brain spotting is, and then the photobiomodulation light therapy.
That's so fantastic. And I think, you know, I went into this before talking to you thinking about, oh gosh, this is it's such a serious thing, and when injuries like this happen, but it feels more positive. Like there's a lot to look forward to be able to treat these, and I think that speaks well for sports and for brain health and into the future. And we talked about the suicide thing, and to be able to address brain health earlier on and know what's going on, because we for so many years we didn't know what was happening inside that skull. So it's awesome to speak with you and to learn more about it. Is there a website or something that we can learn more about?
www.robertsneurotraining.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. My guest has been Paige Roberts, neuro performance specialist out of Seattle. I'm Michael David with Eye on Sun Valley Sports, keeping my eye on Wood River Valley sports for you.
Sterling Urgent Care is now open at 507 South Main Street in Haley. Sterling Urgent Care is helping create a better healthcare experience. All patients are welcome. They accept most major insurances, including Medicare and Medicaid. They also accept self-pay patients and offer a membership program to help you take control of your healthcare costs. Sterling Urgent Care invites you to visit them at their beautiful new facility in Haley. Or learn more at sterlingurgentcare.com. Healthcare created with you in mind.
With over 17,782 total yards of scenic golf, we have a little something for every type of golfer. Our signature 18 holes at the Trail Creek Championship course include an 18-hole putting course, driving range, and a luxurious clubhouse with wraparound deck and full-service restaurant. Across the road tower the 9 holes of the White Clouds, an alpine link-style course with 360-degree views of the entire Wood River Valley. A few miles away, you'll find another 18 holes of undulating greens at the Elkhorn Golf Course, complete with its own clubhouse and driving range.
Hi, I'm Gary, manager of the Attic Thrift Store in Haley, and today I'm not here to sell you anything or tell you about any great deals at the Attic. We all know the Attic always has great deals. That goes without saying. Instead, the Attic and its staff would like to give a sincere thank you to all its loyal customers and generous donors who help to make a huge impact in our community. How? For those who don't know, the Attic Thrift Store is a nonprofit that exists to help support the advocates whose mission is to teach people of all ages to build and maintain healthy relationships through education, shelter, and support services. With your help, we are making a difference in ending domestic violence and sexual assault. Every day, lives are changed at The Advocates. Please visit our website at www.theadvocatesorg.org. So from all of us, thank you for shopping and donating to The Attic. You're truly...
Better food, better price, better service. Atkinson's Market, supporting local farmers since 1956.
I'm Derek Agnew, General Manager of Zenergy Health Club and Spa, and I want to take you inside and show you what we've done with our new Pivot Studio, which is going to blow you away. The therapists tell me that Pivot really is the game changer. It fills that final gap that we were missing at Zenergy, things they could not do in our main gym.
The recent addition of the Pivot Studio has meant wonders to me as a physical therapist. I can now take care of the most vulnerable post-operative patient, but now I can include programming that challenges the most elite athlete.
No matter your taste or personal style, the shopping in Sun Valley has what you need for a day in the mountains or elegant night on the town. From bike sales, rentals, repair, outdoor accessories, and souvenirs to high-end on-trend fashion and sportwear, including a hip modern women's boutique, there is something for everyone in the Sun Valley Village. Don't forget about the kids, as stepping foot in the toy store is a dream come true for the little ones. The Sun Valley Village shopping options blend a touch of European style with Main Street USA hospitality, all in a charming mountain town setting.
I moved out to Idaho 4 years ago, so I met a lot of people and I really, really like it here. In New York, I was always sort of introverted. When I came out here, that no longer was me. I became extroverted because the people here are so friendly and warm. You know, if you don't have something like that that brings you into other people's lives, it takes a long time to get to know people.
Hi, I'm Lori McNee with Ion Sun Valley, and this is Art Beat. And today I am in the beautiful home studio of Cindy Kirk of Cindy Kirk Designs, and she is a very popular seamstress and now a handbag maker. So it's wonderful having you here.
Thank you.
Or I'm here, actually. I'm in her studio.
Welcome to my studio.
Thank you so much. Anyway, I just, I've known you for years being neighbors, and when our kids were little, I bought some of your beautiful clothing for the kids. Mm-hmm. How did you go from being a seamstress to a handbag designer?
As you mentioned, I had designed children's clothing initially, and that segued into my kids got too busy. I just couldn't do it all. And so I've been sewing in the Valley for 25, almost 30 years.
That's amazing.
Doing alterations for some of the high-end stores here in town. And my youngest daughter was going off to college, and I thought, I need more. And I could not find a handbag that I liked.
Oh, okay.
And so I wanted something very simple, unlined. I didn't know I wanted hand stitching, but it kind of evolved into that. And so I, in the middle of the night, dreamt up my first design, actually, which is this one. It's called the Cindy originally. So my bags are very simple. They have one exterior pocket to drop your phone or your car keys, and then one interior pocket. I put my lipstick in there.
Okay.
And I designed them I wanted something, I could never find a bag that didn't have a lot of pockets, or zippers, or snaps, or studs, or logos. And so I just thought, I can do this. And so I started initially on my sewing machine.
So they were stitched then?
They were stitched on my sewing machine. Okay. My first samples were. But I couldn't get, it was hard on my machine, and I couldn't get the look. It looked like every other handbag you see. So I taught myself how to hand stitch. I thought, this is the way it is.
That's amazing.
Part of it was because we were traveling a lot, so I could take it, and with a machine, you can't take that when you're traveling on a road trip, right? Yeah. But I could always take the leather and the
that's
thread
clever.
and the needles. So, and then it's just morphed into they are entirely hand stitched.
So what does that mean to hand stitch then?
It means there is not any machine stitching.
Right,
on any of
at
these
all.
bags,
On the
at
inside,
all.
okay.
No.
Now how do you make these holes, that is thick leather. How do you do that?
We have an awl.
Okay.
And it's, we have very strong hands.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you do.
I have one gal working for me almost full time now.
Okay.
Larson Peterson, she's my machine.
Yes,
she's
we
amazing.
know Larson.
Yeah. And then we've just hired another gal part-time.
Oh,
Monica.
great. So Cindy, how many different designs do you have here?
I have got, in my whole repertoire, about
Sure, in your
36
collection, 36.
styles.
Oh my
and
goodness.
So what I do is I rotate them in for seasons. Because I'm selling to stores,
Okay.
I have to have line sheets and lookbooks. So I'm already working on fall of 2020.
Now, that is so interesting. And then I read in your bio that you're inspired, obviously, by living in beautiful Sun Valley, as am I. The mountains and the colors, the flowers. And so would you kind of tell me how, because as I'm a two-dimensional artist, so how, for a three-dimensional artist, do you incorporate what inspires you from the mountains
I would
into
say
your
my
work?
inspiration is the simple, beautiful design of the leather. And you
Okay.
see on some of them, I try to
It's
incorporate...
very organic.
Yes,
Yes.
very organic. I try to incorporate scars that are within reason.
Okay.
You know, I've wanted to do brands, you know, because every
Oh,
bag
that'd
usually has
be-
a
that'd
brand.
be cool.
But that, I haven't had the nerve
Yeah.
to do that because I don't know that everyone else would appreciate that. in a
Yes.
bag. I do.
Maybe you could do monograms or something
I do
with
do
a brand.
monograms.
Oh, do you?
I do
Okay.
monograms.
Okay.
But I hand stitch them, and I usually do them
Oh,
small.
that's
so if someone
nice.
wants a monogram,
Yes.
I've always
Yeah.
do that, and I'm happy to do that.
Well, good.
So yes, just the simple, organic nature of them.
Okay. And what is your plan with your line of bags? What do you hope for coming up in the future?
Oh, I would like, ideally, to. I'd like to be in more stores.
Okay.
Storefronts are good because hundreds of people go through a store and see and touch and feel things.
Right.
Whereas just selling online, it's hard to translate the beauty and the quality off the computer.
They'll probably invent scratch and sniff
Yeah, you're
online
right.
someday.
We
you
often
know.
say that because people walk in the
Yeah.
studio and it smells so good. It
Right,
smells like
it
leather,
does.
That it'd be nice if we could scratch and sniff. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, of course, online sales is always great too. But,
You're right.
I am just doing exactly what I love to do. I was fortunate enough. My husband and I raised our kids. They're gone now, and I feel like this is my time. I was on a hike with my husband, and it was a transitional time in my life. Our youngest daughter was getting ready to go to college, and I was talking to a friend, and she encouraged me to really pursue my handbags.
So you
second kind of
you
career.
had some that you made for
I
yourself?
had made some, yes. In fact, I
Okay.
made a couple. And then I gave them to some of my best friends who
Lucky
happened to be
friends.
who happened to be great shoppers, and they went around, they wore them, and people started commenting on them.
Oh, that's
so it gave me the
great.
confidence to step out of my shell and really slowly pursue it. And I have grown organically. But I did one thing that I think every artist I would encourage to do, it worked for me, was I wrote a business plan. I got,
Oh, good for
I
you.
got business plans for dummies. And I honestly,
great.
and I forced myself, it was so hard because it's really not part of my personality to sit down and analyze.
Most
But
artists
when
have trouble with that
Yes,
side of the
I know,
business,
I know.
right?
Yeah, it's,
so
and it's
that
hard
was
to market
brilliant.
yourself. So
yes.
it was the best advice I ever got. And what it did was it forced me to figure out who my audience was. And my bags are, pricey. They're all handmade in Sun Valley. I'm not manufacturing them in China, right?
Right.
So it really made me hone in personally on my business plan, mission statement, value statement.
for you.
Why I'm doing this, and who my
Yes.
target audience is. And so it gave me
That's
the confidence
smart.
once I had that on paper, and it took lots of drafts and redrafts to be able to. It's kind of like an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Why do you do what you do? So that has been the single most business-wise best advice I've had.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so now again, we can find these locally at Panache.
Yes.
And where else?
Walla Walla Clothing in Boise
Okay.
sells them.
Okay.
A gal that has been one of my first buyers ever, a store in Aspen.
Okay, that's
Her name
wonderful.
is Susie, and her store is Suchi.
Okay,
and
Suchi.
she is so fun because I'm in charge of my own manufacturing. You can pick any hide and have any color stitching. So she really likes to mix it up. She'll look at and see what she has in her store, and she might do this bag with green stitching for summertime.
Oh,
now that's
wonderful.
harder to sell
Yes.
to people, so she really knows her customer.
Yeah.
Most stores are a little bit more classic and traditional in their neutrals. But then I've got a store in Connecticut, Texas, Michigan, Boise.
Good for you. Okay, that's wonderful. And then online.
Yes.
So someone could order a custom bag online, or you also have them on your website and they can purchase directly.
Absolutely.
And your website is?
My website is cindykirkdesigns.com.
Okay. And I love your logo.
Oh, thank you.
It's so cute.
Thank you.
Did you obviously design that?
I did. Well, Keeley at Business as Usual helped me, but all of my bags have a cross somewhere on them. And I don't always show people where they are, so they have to kind of figure it out. And then they all have a beading detail, very simple.
Okay. So that's how we can tell a Cindy Kirk design.
Yeah. That and the simple stitching.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's been wonderful being in your beautiful home and studio and seeing all your lovely work. I've been watching you, and it's fun to get to see it all in person. I'm Lori McNee. Thanks for joining me for Art Beat, where I'm keeping my eye on Sun Valley for you.
As a family, we've been with Harrison over 20 years. Nathan has been, his phone line is always open to me, and that's been huge. It's a real personal relationship. I pick up the phone and call him, and he's always there, ready to answer my questions. He's really quick with getting back to me. When I've got my back turned and I'm focused on the business and the people and the aspects of the business, it's nice for me to offload this responsibility, which is a big one, to make sure that all my bases are covered. I need to know that if something happens, that we're going to be covered. And with Harrison Insurance, I'm confident that they've got my back and that they've set me up for success.
Harrison Insurance, for all of your insurance needs.
Better food, better price, better service. Atkinson's Market, supporting local farmers since 1956.
Hi, I'm Anita Northwood. I live here in the Sun Valley area, and I have been inspired to create Silver Creek Assisted Living for your family. I'm inspired by my family, and we hope you will all come and take a tour of this place and understand that this is the place where your loved one should be. This is what brings us all joy and what we're the best at. Your family is our family, so come join us. Silver Creek Living is a wonderful place. It's not just about compassionate senior care. It is the best place for you to bring your loved one. We provide a beautiful environment where your family is our family. We have great food, fun activities, lots of entertainment. You can socialize with their peers, bring your family, and yet feel that you're in a beautiful, safe environment, while you can still have fun while knowing that you're well taken care of with the best of care. This could be the next best chapter in your family member's life.
My name is Keith Perry, and my wife Paula and I are the owners of Perry's Restaurant, operating here since 1985, and we've grown to become a local institution here.
We make almost everything from scratch, including all our muffins, our cookies, our salad dressings. Everything is made to order.
Perry's is open daily at 7 a.m., serving hearty breakfasts, and lunchtime made-to-order sandwiches, soups, and salads, and premium beer and wine.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Can I get a make my day?
La Cabanita Mex, dubbed by the locals as authentic, tasty Mexican food and drinks with a festive atmosphere. And a pretty darn good sports bar, too. Big screens all over. La Cabanita prides itself on their authentica cocina mexicana. Good food, very fast service, and delicious house recipes with those special Mexican spices. La Cabanita Mex, serving lunches, dinners, catering, company parties, and takeout. Catch 'em and
Bosick with Ion Sun Valley. What you have just seen is a practice leading up to the Wagon Days Parade in Ketchum, Idaho. This is the largest non-motorized parade in the Northwest, and it features all kinds of amazing antique carriages and wagons, including an 1880s Undertaker's carriage, and of course these big, beautiful ore wagons that used to take lead and silver up and down the narrow mountain passes near Sun Valley. Knott's Farm wanted these wagons, so did Disneyland. Ketchum opted to keep them with one stipulation, that it brings them out once a year for everybody to enjoy. Let's find out more.
We've been bringing the 20 Mule team up here to Ketchum since 2001, and this is an authentic replication of the original way that freight was hauled in all of the western United States back in the 1800s. These wagons are a very truly unique set of wagons. They're the only wagons that anybody knows of that I've spoken to, only wagons in existence that are authentic, that are the real deal, dating back to, they were built in the 1800s, and they were used as freighters then, and they're still in working condition. The city of Ketchum has them in mint condition, and it's truly a unique deal. This is history come to life. The mules, the harness, everything's exactly as it was done. The wagons are exactly as it was done in the 1880s, so if you ever want to case of stepping back in time, this is it right here. It's these big jerk line type hitches. They're called a jerk line type hitch because it's just a single line that the driver ran to the lead mule, and he steered the lead mule. He jerked on it to turn the mules to the right, and he pulled on it, turned to the left. So they're called jerk line or long line hitches. And these types of hitches were used all over the western United States. A lot of people are familiar with the Borax 20 Mule team, which was basically exactly the same as this, except the reason people are familiar with the Borax 20 Mule team is after they were done hauling freight with the mules, they went into marketing their product with the mules. Just like the Budweiser has their Clydesdales. There's lots of Clydesdale horses in the world, but Budweiser markets their product, and that was why people are familiar with the 20 Mule team Borax. But it's exactly the same as this. And even the Borax, when they were hauling freight, quite often they used 20, but sometimes they only needed 18, sometimes they needed 22 or 24 animals. But 20 was what they used for their marketing, and it's their trademark, the 20 Mule team. And these wagons here were pulled by 20 mules some days they were pulled by 10 mules, some days they were pulled by more, just whatever was necessary at the time. And we do it today we did a practice with 16 mules, and then tomorrow we'll put all 20 on. So the 20 mule team pulling these original freight wagons as it was done in the 1870s and 1880s and 1890s. Well, running down the middle of the mule team is a long chain. All the mules are all pulling on a chain, And when you go around a turn, obviously the chain with being pulled on at the front, being pulled forward at the front and pulled backwards at the back by the wagons, the chain naturally wants to drift towards the inside of the turn. So in order to get the wagons to go around the turn instead of through the middle of the turn, mules are needed to step to the outside of the turn, across the long chain that runs up the middle of the hitch. They step to the outside and pull the chain to the outside of the turn. When these wagons were going around a sharp turn or a switchback or some kind of obstacle, the wagons had to be steered around the turn instead of allowed to cheat across the middle of the turn. And so the mules, they have to do that. They have to get on the outside of the chain and pull the wagons to the outside of the turn so they safely make it around a turn. I've seen a few pictures, and it looks to me like when they were going up Trail Creek Pass, they had 10 mules pulling one wagon. 10 mules pulling one wagon, and another 10 mules pulling another wagon. And so it wasn't a long deal like this. But prior to the railroad being here into Ketchum, these wagons hauled across the flats from here, from Ketchum down to Salt Lake City. On a trip like that, where it's not steep and windy, it's a straight road, then they could couple 3 or 4 or 5 wagons together and put however many mules, probably at least 20 mules on the front to take all the wagons down together. It's a little more efficient that way, but on a steep, narrow, windy road, then it'd just be one wagon with however many mules were necessary to pull that load on that day, which the pictures I've seen showed 10 mules pulling these wagons. These wagons were all separate, and each had 10 mules pulling them up Trail Creek Pass and around the switchback turns and that kind of stuff. No, it's just a very tight turn down the middle of town. Big crowds, the noise in there, the echo off the buildings. So getting the mules used to being in crowds and tight places, that's kind of the issue with this parade. We do other parades. We've done the Rose Parade with the Borax 20 Mule Team. We've been to Washington, D.C. and Mule Days in Bishop. So we have these mules accustomed to the crowds and noise, but that's the issue is the crowds, the tight turns, and mules on pavement. And these wagons aren't designed to be on pavement. These steel wheels are designed to be on dirt. So it's the whole hitch, the mules, the wagons, and everything are kind of out of their element, being in a parade, being on asphalt and around crowds. So that's the challenge for what we do. Being out practicing out in the dirt or on a straight road, it's pretty easy because everything works the way it was designed. It's an honor to be able to come and pull these wagons. They're such a unique set of pristine, the big heavy freighters. These and the Borax wagons are the only really big heavy freighters that are still used. There were big heavy freighters that I've seen bits and pieces of around the western United States, but there's nothing that compares to something like this that's actually in working condition.
Eye on Sun Valley. Daily local news from beautiful Sun Valley, Idaho.